Hello, it's
Hello.
Sarah.
And
Um,
CJ.
so we're here tonight for another high-speed writing retreat, as we call it.
Woo!
So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm not nearly as excitable as CJ is, just in general. It's just who I am.
True story. I am very excitable. Like a
Valid.
small puppy. Only generally I don't pee on your rug. I said
Sometimes,
generally. I said generally.
sometimes.
And that was a long time ago. So
Doesn't
long
mean it
ago.
didn't happen.
No, it didn't. No, it doesn't. But it was a long time ago. And I didn't pee on the rug. I just want to make that very clear. It was not on the rug.
They pee on your rug, dude. They pee on your rug.
The rug really tied the room together.
It really did. All right. So, what have you been up to this week? Any writerly things that you've accomplished? Anything exciting?
I got the music studio set up, which was very exciting. We only have 2 pianos in there right now, which sounds ridiculous now that I say it out loud. But we actually have 3 pianos. We have an electric piano, an electric keyboard, and then we have an acoustic piano. And the acoustic piano isn't in yet because I don't know if any of you know this, but acoustic pianos are horribly, horribly heavy. So we have to get a bunch of people who will agree to help us move it for food. And then we have to get a dehumidifier because it gets a little damp down there. And so as soon as we get those things, then we can move in the acoustic piano. But the rest of it's set up. I got my desk more or less set up, ready to use it as a writing space, as a working space. I just cleared it off and organized it a little bit. Other than that, I didn't do a whole lot this week that was like writing focused. I added 2 new students to my piano lessons business. 3 new students, because I added an adult student who is only going to be taking about 2 lessons a month from me. But I got to meet with her today, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Super awesome. How about you?
Well, first of all, I have to mute my stream, otherwise it keeps popping back over to me when you talk because my cat will not stop crying. There is literally nothing wrong with him. He just had a can of food. He's not even looking at me. He's just sitting there near me, crying into nothingness.
He's an emo cat.
I'm going to kill him. But I haven't gotten much done, honestly. It's been, I went to bed at 8 o'clock one night, and I was having problems with my eyes. I had slept in my contacts one night, and then I took them out at work, and I left them at work overnight. So then I put them back in the next day at work, and I got home and realized I left the contact lens container at work. So I slept in them again because I had no choice at that point, because I wasn't going to go back to work to get it. And then, so for all week, my eyeballs have been killing me. And then I went to bed at 8 on Wednesday night. Tuesdays I have game. So I think last night was the only night I had an opportunity, and I don't know what the hell I did last night. Nothing too terribly exciting. I think I went to bed fairly early, though. Just not as early.
Yeah, because you were in bed when I texted you, and that was 11:30.
Yeah, it was real early. For me.
For you, yes. Interestingly enough, I've gotten to the point where 11:30 is pretty early for me too.
Woo woo! Look at you, you're not an old lady no more.
I know, right?
I mean,
do
you
have to
still
say,
are.
deep inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
this animal.
Maybe he wants to be in front of the camera.
Here, Mr. Crowley. Let me hold you. No, he just wants to sit there and be emo. Hold on, I'm trying to look at. There we go. See, he's not looking at me. I don't. He won't come over here.
That's amazing. He's a
He's a-
brilliant, brilliant
No, he's a
manipulator.
dickweed.
Well, that too. Potato, potato.
He's a total dickweed. I did make this week, though. Did I make this last week?
I think you made it on Sunday.
Yeah. So it's a giant bag. Right now it's a dice bag with dice bags in it. But I made it with my own little hands. I don't even own a sewing machine. I'm super excited, but it's holding. It does. When I went and worked out in the yard last week, I brought it with me. And I carried like a ton of stuff in it, and it didn't like tear or anything. So
Nice.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think in some ways you're much more crafty than I am, because I do own a sewing machine and I can sew with it, but I am lousy at hand sewing. Like, I'm just absolutely worthless.
I mean, it's not done well. It looks awful if you look at the stitches and shit, but it'll hold.
But yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's only like one layer too. It's not. I mean, it's just the inside of the fabric inside the thing. So it's not like there's nothing fancy about it at all.
No,
and in
but
fact,
fancy isn't. It's
right. In fact, though, it's actually this. It's just like folded and then sewn, and then I flipped this in and put a shoestring in it. And my cat knocked the thing over. Or I did. Nope, it was the cat. That's Dreamer. She's what?
Oh. It's a good thing she's cute, because she also is an asshole.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder if she's like an unintentional asshole, whereas Crowley like clearly is going to take over the world?
I'm not sure if she can put her tail down.
Yeah.
Like, the more I pay attention, the more I think I don't know that I see her put her tail down. Like, she sits, but her tail's still at the same angle when she's sitting.
Yeah.
It doesn't wrap around her ever. Like, it just does this at the end.
Yep. All the time.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's about.
Part of her inbreeding, like the cross-eyedness and the obsession with.
You're cross-eyed.
I am not.
Talk shit about my cat.
Look.
Be nice to her. You're being a demon.
I'm not. Not at all. Nothing I said was untrue. I just like to make that very clear. Not untrue.
It's demonic.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I watch things on the internet. That was demonic.
Are you watching Pat Robertson? Because that could be part of your problem.
He's my favorite stand-up comedian.
Or maybe Benny Hinn.
He's changed over to a sit-down comedian recently because he's so old.
Yeah, he's... Ugh.
He's elderly.
He is elderly. He is a geriatric.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's still with us,
Right?
which is sad all around. Actually, I wouldn't want him to die. I just don't want him to be on TV anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wish death on him, but...
I mean, realistically, it's on its way. And then...
Do you want to come and say hi to Sarah and the internet? No, we're live streaming. My friend's son is here, my nephew, Colin, and you may not have known that, unlike last week when his sister was here, because he is considerably quieter. Yes. So, but he came over to see what we were doing, and I asked him if he wanted to say hi, and he does not.
That's awesome.
Yep. He's perfectly fine being away.
Yeah.
He's still lurking, like right here, though, off camera.
Well, I'm sure. So what are we doing now? Are we going to do some working, or are we going to do some, what are we going to do?
Shall we do some working?
All right. What do you want to do? First line?
Yes. I really liked that. Like, I liked the...
Yeah, I like it too. We'll do 250 words on the first line. How many times am I going to push it?
4.
The house wasn't the same to her anymore.
That's a rather ominous beginning.
Yeah. My contacts are pissed again. Doop, doop, doop. My internet ain't working great over here. My live stream is being silly. My actual, like, my actual view of it over here is not working for shit. Oh. There we
Well,
go.
for half a second there, you were frozen like this, which was amazing.
That's how I like it.
That doesn't surprise me.
That was on purpose. Okay, how you doing over there?
I have less than 100 words.
Move your ass.
I don't type with my ass, so that's not really going to help.
You're a douchebag.
You're a douchebag.
Yeah, that was real intelligent. You looked mad proud of yourself.
I'm trying to write here. How about you talk to the people? Or, you know, flip them off and make ridiculous faces.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I wasn't flipping them off. Bitch gotta mute me. There, I'll just make them watch you. Now you're on screen. Nothing but you. Yeah, but that sucked.
How about them apples?
Okay, you can be a douchebag, asshole. You really just gonna leave yourself muted like a douche?
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Sure. All right, because this might freak somebody out, I'm going to turn off my camera for a moment and take my contacts out. But it freaks my husband out, so I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't want to freak anybody out. So I'm still here. I'm just
touching your eyeball.
Yeah. Yep. I hope it's in there. Oh, there it is. Now they'll be really red for a second because I just touched them. I'm back. I now have glasses. But the cat's gone. Well, one of the cats is gone. The other one is sitting right behind the green screen for some reason. Looking like a creeper. I heard an aeroplane.
No, it was a motorcycle.
Oh. Well, it sounded mostly like somebody had like taped my stomach growling, but
yeah, that's about right. No, the airplanes are way louder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like sometimes they fly so low that the floor vibrates a little bit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. Can I help you?
Okay. Are you almost done?
Yeah. No.
The hell are we doing here, dude?
I'm struggling. That's what I'm doing.
Every day I'm struggling. I can't sit still.
You should dance for the man.
I'm doing this. That's what I do.
I have like 143 words and no, 146.
Okay, and you hate it? Is that the problem?
No, I'm struggling with, like, I have this idea, like right here, like right here, but it's really nebulous, and so I'm like struggling to like get it to move down to my fingers.
You're nebulous.
No, I'm pretty solid.
Tell that to a proton. I don't know. I know there's things. I know there's things, but I can't think what they are right now. Come on. Come on.
Think about it and get back
It's
to me.
time for you to guest star. Come on. I know.
It's a
She
dream!
is.
Woo-hoo!
She's having a very good time. Hello, everyone. My eyes don't stop moving. It's a neurological disorder. Apparently, she doesn't have any of the other symptoms of it, though, so she probably has it, but it's probably not a big deal.
That's good. When I was at the vet's office with Tag, whenever it was that she had the nasty infection, when I went to pick her up, the vet said, because she had asked if she had any more, because she went through a series of about, what was it, 3-4 years ago? It was the year that we had the ridiculous cicadas.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if it had anything to do with the snakes.
No, that happened after.
No, I mean her getting sick.
Infection?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it got, like, maybe it was from a snake, and that's why it was something they'd never seen or don't see usually, is because it's a strange thing for a cat to come into contact with a bull snake.
I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
Because there were baby snakes, like, right before you left.
Yeah, there were. Well, I think, according to the vet, what made it so bad was the stress of moving. Like, she probably would have been fine.
Gotcha.
She probably would have had a little bit of an infection and probably would have had to have, like, some kind of antibiotic.
Like Dreamer.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been, like, she wouldn't have spent 3 days at the vet's.
Yeah.
Except the stress of moving lowered her ability to fight the infection. And now I want you to know, she loves living here.
Yeah.
Loves it. Like, she has all of her places, like, she knows exactly where she sleeps on the couch, and she has a spot. It's her spot on the couch. Like, last night I left a basket of laundry on the couch. It was in her spot. She was sitting when did we come home from somewhere? We went somewhere yesterday. Oh yeah, we went to my mom and dad's and picked up a couple of things, and we get home and she's sitting on the other side of the couch where Cassie normally sits and looking at me like, this is what you get when you put stuff in my spot. So yeah, the end of the couch, she likes laying on the window seat. She has her bed, which is at the end of my bed, and she likes laying in my bed. And then she also enjoys laying in the doorway, right inside the dining room from the kitchen. So, like, the kitchen door is here. Here's the kitchen. Here's the living room. She sleeps right here. Like, there's the doorway. She sleeps right there. She'll just lay there. And then when you trip over, she looks at you like, what'd you do that for?
That makes perfect sense.
Yep. I knew you would understand. But yeah, she really enjoys the windows that open. Like, that is the most amazing thing to her ever.
Lovely.
Yeah, well, we haven't lived in a house where the windows opened in 8 years. How old are you?
Yeah.
You're almost 9, right? Yeah. So almost 8 years.
Yeah. Is there wordage coming?
Yes.
Good. So yeah, now my eyeballs feel a little better than they did. I'm super happy. What is that?
That was a plane.
Was it?
Mhm.
It sounded like demons.
No, that was an airplane. It was taking off, so it was quite a bit higher than the ones that, like when they come in for landing, they're really low, whereas when they take off, they're quite a bit higher by the time they get. And it depends on which way the wind is blowing and blah blah blah. I mean, like there's all these factors, but
Right.
But they do seem to be a lot lower when they come in over our house than they do when they're taking off.
Gotcha.
So. All right, I'm almost done.
Okay. The cat's still crying. Now he's behind the curtain. I'm gonna start squirting. I just wildly squirted water behind me. I can't see. I didn't hear him run away though. Oh, dude. My headphones are reflecty. It's a thing. How's it coming? Mine just keeps getting shorter.
Oops.
Hmm.
Well, I went a little over what I was supposed to.
What did you do?
348. But it started going.
You're a crazy person.
Apparently.
Well, you go
Okay,
first, Miss
where's-
Fancy Pants.
That's 210. 237. All right. I'm only going to read to 248.
Okay.
Okay. The house wasn't the same to her anymore. Lainey could feel the difference since Sam's death. Fear no longer lurked in the corners, and the shadows had slunk away. Laughter bubbled through the halls as the children danced in delight, bathed in rays of autumn sunshine. The oppressive heat of summer was a fading memory, along with the terror that had stalked them for months. Lainey stood at the kitchen sink, her hands deep in the sudsy dishwasher. The breeze coming through the window rustled the curtains and played with the tendrilled curls at the nape of her neck. The sound of a car crunching up the gravel driveway brought Lainey out of her peaceful reverie. She glanced out the window and saw the familiar green and brown of her brother-in-law's station wagon as it pulled up behind her old Pontiac. "Julie, Pat, he's here." She flipped on the faucet and rinsed the suds off her hands before drying them on a towel. The kids came pounding down the staircase, sounding like a herd of cattle in stampede. "Walk," Lainey called after them as they galloped down the hall to the front door. It was a pointless reminder. She followed them out to the porch at a slower pace. Stephen unfolded his 6-foot frame from the car and caught the two children, one in each arm, as they threw themselves at him, shrieking his name. "Uncle Stephen, we got a new bunk bed." And that is at 248, so you don't get the rest.
I see how it
Because
is.
you mocked my fancy pantsness.
Well, your pants got all fancy.
Not fancy. Just...
All right, in regular fashion, mine's darker.
What? Don't talk
No.
nonsense. That's
All
just
right.
nonsense. Okay.
The house. All right, the house wasn't the same to. Good God. Let me open a soda.
Woo!
Apparently, I can't speak unless I have a soda.
Unless you're lubricated.
Yeah, apparently. The house wasn't the same to her anymore. My nose itches. It had been more than a year since Daphne stepped foot inside, and she hadn't been in since the damage was done. She couldn't believe it was the place she had grown up in. I didn't write it that way, but whatever. The worst part wasn't that they had come here and wrecked the place. Even the broken glass and burned curtains could be cleaned up. The worst part was the memory that she couldn't bury, of blood pooled in corners and down the hallway. She could never reside here again. The first thing she was going to do after cleaning up this mess was call the realtor and ask them to come and check it out. Daphne knelt and picked up a large piece of unburned curtain and wiped the dining room table with it, leaving the curtain covered in a layer of dark soot. Was it only soot? She couldn't be sure. Daphne walked over to the broken picture window in the living room and sighed. She remembered having Christmas here as a family. Now it was nothing more than a hole in an abandoned murder house. The kind of place tourists stopped to take pictures and gawk. Daphne hated this house. There you go. That's the whole thing.
That was delightful.
But like it was like 240 or something, and then as you took time, I kept editing it, so it's 204 now.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It happened.
It's getting a little later than we would usually be finishing our first thing.
Yeah, that's my fault. I'll take full responsibility for
Oh,
that.
that's fine.
I struggled.
That's not what it is.
Yeah, just sit there and blame me. That's fine. Fine.
You're an asshat.
But I'm a cute asshat, and that's what's important.
Keep telling yourself that. All right. Well, did you have anything else to talk about tonight?
Well, I did kind of want to talk about, I know it's not November yet, but October's coming up, and so I'm seeing a lot of stuff online about NaNoWriMo, preparing for NaNoWriMo, blah, 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 and I am doing preparing. However, some of us in this live stream, we won't say who, but some of us don't prepare.
I fly by the seat of my pants.
It's a true story. But so I wanted to talk just a little bit about actually writing for NaNoWriMo. Just because, well, first of all, I'm really excited about NaNoWriMo this year. I did not have enough time to write last year. Like I started NaNoWriMo and I just did not get there. It just didn't happen. Too many things were going on. So I'm really excited about this year because I know I'm going to have lots of time and I have this idea that I'm prepping for. So I am a little about NaNoWriMo this year. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to ask Sarah some questions and she's going to answer them and then I'm going to answer them too. So the first thing is, do you follow the 1667 rule?
What do you mean?
Where your goal is to write 1,667 words every single day?
I mean, yeah, in theory.
What do you mean by in theory?
Like that's the goal, but it doesn't work out that way usually.
How does it usually work out for you?
There isn't an answer to that. It's not the same every time.
Is there an average? Like, do you average a certain number, or is like...
No, like sometimes I'll write it all at the very beginning of the month. Sometimes I'll write it all at the very end of the month. Sometimes it'll be staggered throughout. Sometimes I'll write 3,000 words like every other day.
Fair enough. Do you use a tool to keep track of your words?
Just the website.
You don't use a spreadsheet or anything?
No.
Do you have specific strategies for when things get hectic?
No. I don't plan anything in my whole life.
Ever. Yeah, I believe it. That's how we ended up in Indianapolis at 3 o'clock in the morning looking for a hotel.
Yeah. It worked out though, didn't it?
It did. It did indeed. That was a good trip. Except for the part where we almost died on the way there. But other than that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I'm really excited about NaNoWriMo this year is because normally November is such a crazy month for me. For the last 9.5 years, I've worked for a nonprofit organization that has their yearly convention like the third week in November. It's always the week before Thanksgiving. So November has been insane. So finding a time to write even 1,667 words a day is crazy. And so I'm trying to figure out what are my options for, what do you do when you actually have time to write? What do you do, Sarah?
What do you mean, what do I do?
Like, if you had, do you ever worry that if you have all the time you need to write, that you'll never actually write? Or is that an irrational fear on my part?
I don't know if it's irrational. I mean, that might be true for some people. I'm like a whole lot more type A than you are.
That is true. But although, to be fair, that's not hard to be.
No, but I'm saying like...
Bless you. Sorry.
Which is weird because I'm the one who doesn't plan writing at all. But I plan writing time.
Yes, you do. And then you follow it, generally.
Yeah, usually. And that is one of the things I suppose I do often before Nano. I might like sit down and double check my calendar and make sure that I have time allotted on every day to write. That doesn't necessarily mean it happens, and sometimes I say like, oh, I guess today it's from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and there's no effing way I'm going to get out of bed and do that. Once in a blue moon, it'll work, but almost never.
Yeah, I'm not coherent between 6 and 7 a.m. To be fair, lately I'm not coherent between 7 and 8.
I usually get up between 7 and 8. Because I work at 9 and I work like 10 minutes away.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was going to go back to work at a day job, I'd want to work, like, at the fire station across the street. Or, you know, somewhere close by.
Right.
As it is, like, even driving to because I go to my students' houses, even driving to my house, or to my students, I think the farthest, I'm trying to think of how far away. I think the students that live the farthest away are still only like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, I have 2 students. In fact, one of my newer students, the first time I went to her house, I realized, like, after I got there, that she lives basically across the street, kitty corner, from 2 of my other students.
Well,
like, they live on different streets, so it never occurred to me that, and they live in this area of town where the streets don't do this. They're not like, they make no sense whatsoever. Like, my older students, their street goes like this. It's just straight, but you get about 100 yards from their house, and the intersecting street doesn't intersect like this. It intersects like this. So it does this weird, and it goes off down at an angle. And then there's another street that joins the street that they live on, that comes from the street that the other one lives on. But this extra street is like maybe 50 yards long. Like, it's tiny. And it's just this little curve that is basically an exit from one street onto another street. It's not a street by itself, but it has a different name. Anyway. But yeah, so my commute is amazing right now. That's all I've got.
Yeah, well, it's getting late, so I think we should probably wrap up for the night.
I'm cool with that.
All right, so I'll put links down below. They'll go down there, I don't know, the next day or so. So if you are interested in any more videos, I'm sure there will be videos, places to go look at, and then you can go like all our things and all that jazz. Sorry, I'm coming down with something. This is swell. But so I guess we'll see you guys all next week. I'll have my regular video on Sunday, so I'll see you guys then. And good night. Bye.
Bye.